This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hello everybody, it's Michael and I'm here on my own this week. Aren't I lucky? I'm glad you all came along for show 106. Geez, we're getting on and I'm feeling it, I've got to tell you. So again, we're sponsored by athwebhosting.com.au. We've got Australian servers, affordable competitive plans, 99.95% uptime. Free setup, auto setup 24/7, so it doesn't matter when or how you want to be involved. Instant activation, and they accept PayPal as well as other cards. If only I could speak. And it's from $5.95 a month when paid annually. So thanks to Glenn and the boys there. Excellent for supporting us and keep chugging along. So my first story tonight, we've got police shut down a Chinese factory that had produced $19 million worth of fake iPhones. So I reckon Samsung would be happy if they'd made $19 million on their phones, but this is just a fake iPhone factory. It was a counterfeit factory which produced so many fake Apple devices that some even made their way to the US. And it was shut down by Beijing police and led to 9 arrests. And that's something like 41,000 phones, just so they look good. So be careful if you're buying from the markets a cheap phone. You have to be wary of that these days, unfortunately. And as we say every week at the moment, we can't go past Apple Music. So Keith Richards will debut his new music video exclusively on Apple Music to promote his new album, obviously. Apple Music hits 10 million subscribers in 4 weeks, a report said. That's a fair few in one hit. And I haven't had it confirmed, and I don't think anyone will, but when they were doing their MTV Music Awards that we mentioned there last week, and they were doing the nominees, Apple's, and of course Apple Music was promoting that, and it was done live on Apple Music. They must have had a lot of people go in because it brought many of the websites down, Apple's other sites, all at that same time. So there must have been a lot of bandwidth going in and out of Apple at that time. So after bagging the awards last week, what do we know? We were giving them a hard time, wondering how popular they were going to be, and it just proved to be popular. This is my best story of the week, this one here. So Apple Pay a step closer as MasterCard's tokenization security feature nears. So I'm going to read this out. The Australian Financial Review is reporting MasterCard is close to rolling out a security feature that is needed for Apple to launch its mobile payment system, Apple Pay, in Australia, according to the company's local boss. MasterCard's Australian country manager, Andrew Cartwright, said the final launch date of its tokenisation service depended on the banks, but he accepted it would be released in the very near term. Tokenisation is a security feature that replaces credit card information with a randomly generated single user number for each transaction, protecting cards from fraud if the number is stolen or compromised. That's one of the things that Apple's pushing, of course. So Apple is the leading country globally in terms of contactless payments, because we do about 40 to 50% content, every payment's contactless. So our market would be very logical market for mobile phone payments, he said. And what we're actually seeing in Australia is consumers use less cash, and that means there is more electronic payments, and that's a positive for MasterCard. So as a consumer, as an Apple Watch wearer, as an Apple iPhone 6 owner, banks, please hurry up. We're all waiting for it. We know it's good. So it's all there ready for you, apparently. I don't know whether there's some issue or whether it's only MasterCard's tokenisation Australia. We've got all the other features. It can't be a big thing. It's working overseas in 2 countries at least. So please hurry up, banks. Please. That's my... So because we're getting through pretty quick this week, I just want to remind everyone about the Aussie Tech Heads. Bit of echo there. The Aussie Tech Heads podcast on Thursday night, 7:30. Log in, listen to it, pick it up on the Aussie podcast radio station that we promote. You can find out about that at Aussie Mac Zone or at Aussie Tech Heads. Either website's got information about that. It's a more non-Mac focused podcast, shall we say. They do have some Mac stories, and they sit back there with their glasses of wine and just relax and have a nice chat. Really good. Thanks, fellas. So this one baffles me, so I'll just admit straight out, I'm no financial whiz, but Apple had another record-breaking quarter in a record-breaking year, and people are selling the stock. So I've got nothing to say except investors are weird. Like, obviously I'm no investor, so, and I'm not saying go out and buy it on my recommendation. I'm just saying if it's going up and up and up, nearly every analysis still says it's going up. So if you're breaking records, you're bringing the income in. It wasn't that long ago they only had $100 billion in the bank. Now they've got over $200 billion in the bank. It's there. Anyway, good on them. Do what they like. So, you've been asking about and had suggestions that when we mention our Mac apps or our iPhone apps, etc. So I've got a couple of here tonight. A Mac app, it's a really simple one. Works great. Works on every machine I've got. It's been around for a long time, and it's called Keyboard Cleaner. So it's an app. You double click at it, start it. It turns your keyboard off. You can scrub it, wipe it over with your rag, give it a nice good clean. And the advantage is, of course, laptops where you've got to shut down the machine, do your keyboard clean. You can't just unplug it like you can on your desktop. So, and the only thing is, you got to remember Command Q to turn it off when you finish cleaning it. It's really good. It's a great little app, really simple, small. So, in the show notes this week, which everyone can go to aussiemaczone.com.au, go to the show notes, and it'll be there. It's really, really simple, and it's a pleasure to use. Very small. Double click it and away you go. Simple as that. And another one that I use on all my devices is a program called M-Secure, which is a password manager. It's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on the Mac. The phone, you can use your fingerprint to unlock it, as opposed to having to type your password in every time. So every time you update your password, where some people work in places where you have to update your password every 3 months, you can't use one that you've used used any time in the last 2 years, etc. So it's really hard to keep track of them. This is a great little app, and it'll just let you copy and paste your username and your password. If you use weird usernames to log on to websites, or especially now with Apple's method of promoting a password for you, which gives you a really long password that's impossible to remember. You can use Safari to keep your passwords and go and look at them, but you can also put into Password Manager. And because I give my phone around for the kids to play with when I'm at friends' places or family, because it's backed up, it syncs between my Macintosh and my phone. They sync up, so they're always got the same passwords up to date. Very simple. I can do a backup. That's very simple. And if someone tries to, someone pinches your phone and gets in somehow, and then tries to get into your M-Secure app, you can set it so after 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, it'll just wipe out all the data in M-Secure. It just takes it away. Simple as that. So if you lost your phone, besides doing your remote wipe, you don't have to worry. But if as I said, if the kids are playing with the phone, you just got to be aware that this is one app that they can't really get in and change it. But if they keep putting passwords in, enter a password, enter a password, enter a password, it may delete everything that's in there. But that's why you back it up to your Mac, of course, or to your other iPad. And I've also got my wife using it. So it's not quite the same as some of the other password managers where it automatically brings the password field in for you. But it's the one I use, and I've used it for a few years now, and it's very good and very straightforward. Lots of categories. So that's luckily that's just about it for this week. As I said, it's just me, so I can't really expand on it, on all the stories. But yeah, everybody have a great week. Nice short and sweet one this week. I hope you'll enjoy, and hopefully both of the boys will be back next week. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy.